3, 2, 1.
Jesus Christ, that's
Zydash.
I hate this channel.
No! Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you today another thumbnail tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're gonna be showing you how to make thumbnails like CREEPERSEDGE. I'm really gonna enjoy doing this thumbnail tutorial because his style reminds me of thumbnail styles or tutorials that we've done before, like Preston, Verb, Grape Applesauce, and I really love how they do it because it's simple and it just eliminates Cinema 4D and your need to have it because you can just use the custom NPCs mod. So make sure you leave a like on the video and don't forget to follow me on Twitter because that's where we're going to be doing our polls for which YouTuber to do next. You guys have voted for CREEPERSEDGE on the poll that I released on Twitter earlier this week, so make sure you don't miss it by hitting the follow. The link to my Twitter is in the description, and of course don't forget to subscribe. You know, hashtag road to 2K. We just hit 1.5K a few days ago, so let's keep the push going. So we're gonna be doing CREEPERSEDGE. Like I said, his style is kind of similar. It's kind of a little more similar to Unspeakable Gaming, which has a similar style to Preston and yada yada yada. Same thing. He likes to use the big yellow text, you know, a few words on screen, and like I said, has a screenshot of whatever happens in game to explain what happens in the video. I think he plays lots of factions now, which is weird because I was trying to look for like a Bed Wars one or a Sky Wars one, because last time I came on the channel that's what he was doing, like trolls and stuff, but I'm just seeing how to Minecraft and lots of these other things. But nevertheless, his thumbnail style has remained, you know, uniform for the most part, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So these are just some of his thumbnails for, you know, reference. So what are you gonna need? You're gonna need your Minecraft, your custom NPCs, and the font cartoonist cookie, which I use all the time. Links to anything else that I forgot to mention will be in the description below along with those things, but we're just gonna head to Minecraft right now. So I chose to do one of his battle royale thumbnails. So you see, we already got the custom NPC right here, but I'm just going to delete it so that we can start from scratch. So we got this thing, he's walking, he's gonna be running into the door. So we're gonna make sure you have the custom NPCs mod downloaded, and so you'll know when it's downloaded when you go up here and there's gonna be like a second page. You're gonna click this thing, go over to the custom NPC tools, and this NPC one is going to be here. So you're gonna drag it. Once you have it, you're just gonna right click the ground. We're gonna put them right here. You're gonna hide the name. You're going to change it, click this until it says URL, and I just got this thing. This will also be in the description, so keep your eye out on that. And we're just gonna give him the generic noob skin that you see on everyone's videos nowadays. So, you know, you got to stick with the program. You got to use this skin in your videos if you want to get views, if you don't want to get blown out by the competition. Anyway, we're gonna go to the AI tab. I'm gonna go all the way to movement. We're gonna click edit. We're gonna change the rotation to manual, and we're gonna set this to 170 degrees. It all depends on which way you're facing. I think the NPC always faces north, so he's facing whichever way he was. So we're gonna set it to 170. So you gotta play around with it. If you know your geometry, you'll be fine. So we're gonna hit done, and now he's gonna be like facing this way. We want him to face like a little towards this way so we can see more of his backside. Alright, so now we're gonna right click him again, go to advanced, go over here where it says no job. We're gonna click this arrow 1, 2, 3 times until it says puppet, hit edit, and now we're just gonna make him look like he's running. So we're gonna change his left arm. I think you changed the Y. Nope, it's not the Y. Changes, nope, not the Z. Can't believe I forgot this already. Alright, so it's the X, so I was right the first time. So we're gonna make this arm, I'm gonna pull this all over to like in the 290s. And that means for the right arm, we're gonna put in the other direction. It doesn't have to be anything symmetrical. And we're gonna invert the legs because since this right arm is going forward, the left leg is going to go forward and the right leg is going to go backward. So we're gonna move this over this way, and you can always adjust these at any time. I'm gonna set this to like the 280s or something. So you see it's pretty random, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so now this guy is running, looking good. I think I'm gonna adjust his legs a little bit though, because yeah, that left leg is looking a little too. All right, that should be good. All right, sweet. It's kind of weird because he has like the extra long pants on, so it's like screwing me up. I'm gonna move the head down, so set the X coordinate to like, I don't know, something 210 degrees looks all right. Okay, and I think we're good here. So now that you got all of that done, we are going to hit F1 so that the HUD is disabled or made invisible, and we are going to hit F2 to take your screenshot. I'm actually gonna back off a little because I want to get some of the other scenery so that we can apply the sky to it. That's just my personal preference. All right, and now we're going to hit F2, and you can always, you know, take multiple ones and then choose between which ones you want, so that you don't have to go back and forth between Minecraft. All right, so that's the first screenshot. The second screenshot is going to be over here, but first you need to make sure for this you set the game rule for fire ticking to false. So just type in this game mode, otherwise when you place the lava down, which we're going to do right now, the lava is going to spread and this house is going to burn down. Second video. All right, so I'm going to put this here. Actually, I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to place the NPC down first, and this is a trap. This is going to be a trap. This thumbnail is what it's symbolizing, so that's why we're doing all this. So he's gonna walk in the house and he's gonna fall into lava. We're gonna set the movement to edit. We're gonna make him flying because we want him to be elevated a little bit. Set the rotation to manual, and we're gonna make him rotate 180 degrees because he's currently facing me. Make sure everything's correct. All right, that looks good. And I don't know how to disable damage for NPCs, so we are gonna have to, you know, be very fast with this. And I'm also gonna go ahead and delete this NPC as well so that we can have more room. Okay, so I'm going to go into F1, going to place down my lava. All right, never mind, I just figured it out. So you want to go to the stats tab and you're gonna select immune to fire. Yes, now we can place the lava, hit F1, and we can take our screenshot now. Sweet. Boom. And like I said, take multiple screenshots just in case you mess up on the first one. And once you're done, that's all the screenshots we need. You can close out of your Minecraft or minimize it, and now we can get into Photoshop. All right, just gonna hit File, New. You guys know the deal. Tutorial 17. Man, we are burning through this tutorials with 1920 by 1080, but I've noticed that lots of larger YouTubers out there are still using 1280 by 720. I'm like, wow. So yeah, you guys can do 1280 by 720. It really doesn't matter. It's not really much of a difference, but I personally like to max out the HD, even though it leads to a larger file size. That's just me. So we're gonna hit OK, and now we got this. Now we gotta go back to the classics, man. We gotta get that sky background, although I'm not sure it is going to fit depending how the thumbnail's gonna look. So I'm at my screenshots and I got multiple sky backgrounds. I just took a screenshot of the sky while having the Lively Faithful texture pack loaded in. You get the better skies along with the texture pack when you have Optifine enabled. So we're just gonna drag it until it fills the whole screen, and we're gonna hit enter. Now we're gonna go back to our screenshots, go through all to your latest one, and I'm just gonna choose which one I'm going to use. I think I'm gonna use this one. You've been chosen, and hit enter. Don't worry about placing it just yet, and I'm going to use the first screenshot that we added to this. All right, so we're gonna make this one invisible by clicking the eyeball right here, and this one we're gonna hit Control T it, and we're just gonna, you know, make it large until it fills up the whole screen. We're actually gonna make it a bit larger. We don't want any unwanted space, you know, and hit enter once you're done. Like I said, all of this you can always readjust it later, Now we're gonna right click, rasterize layer, and we're just going to go to our magic wand tool, the magic wand tool. Select all these blank areas so that the better sky of the texture pack is visible. And just go over it and delete all these patches. This one is pretty small, but I'm gonna see if I can try to delete it. There we go. And yes. Alright, now this is pretty insignificant since we can barely see the sky, but if you take it at a different angle, then you will definitely see the sky, of course. The next thing we're gonna do is make this layer visible. We're gonna Control T, make sure we have the right one selected. Control T this. We're gonna move it all the way over here. I'm gonna zoom in a lot. Alright, a lot. There we go. And we're gonna hit enter. Now we are going to zoom out, holding Alt and scrolling down. We're going to go over here. We're going to use the rectangular marquee tool. We're just gonna drag over this and we're just gonna crop it up to here. So we're gonna go over here, make sure you have it rasterized so that you can edit it. Rasterize layer and hit delete. Now we only have this side of it, so we can move on to the next step, which is to give it a stroke. We're gonna double click this layer that we just edited. I'm gonna give it a stroke. We're gonna give it a white stroke. White stroke, just like that. All right, that seems good. And we're going to give it a drop shadow as well. I'm gonna set the distance to 0, increase the size a little bit. Nothing too extraordinary. And you guys can feel free to copy down the settings that I have just given it right now. And once you're done, you can hit OK. Now you can see that since we cropped it in an unprofessional way, the stroke is like going over around those rough edges that we missed. So I'm just gonna make it larger. Simple as that. And boom. It's like it was never ever there. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add some text. We're gonna go over to the T icon right here and we're gonna click it and just click anywhere. I'm gonna make sure I have the cartoonist kooky text selected. I'm just gonna type in trap. Now I'm gonna set this text to yellow by going up here and changing the color, this colored box, and we're just gonna set it to yellow, a nice bright yellow. So drag it all the way up top here. This looks pretty accurate. Once you're done, hit OK. We don't need to add any gradients or anything because it's a solid color that he uses. We're gonna hit Control T, hold Shift and drag it. We're gonna make it a little small and put it all the way over here in the top left corner of your thumbnail. I'm gonna make it a little smaller, all right, and hit enter once you're done. We're gonna double click trap. We're going to give it a thick drop shadow. Oh, that's actually perfect for what I need. So yes, use the same settings that we had from this thing over here, and you can hit OK once you're done. And that's all you have to do for the text. Now, the next thing we are going to do is add an arrow to this. And you can do this two different ways. The arrow is going to come behind this person. So you can just crop out the shape of the arrow to match the shape of this person, or you can crop out the person running to the door and put the arrow underneath that copied crop of the person. I think I'm going to do it the second way because that seems easier to me. So I'm just going to get that arrow that I was talking about right now. All right, so we got this arrow right here. Of course, just look up an arrow with a black outline and you should find this. So we're gonna put this guy over here, run into the door. All right, so just gonna, adjust this. Make sure you always hold Shift so you maintain the proportion of the size. We're gonna make that invisible by clicking the eyeball in the layer section, just really quick. And we're gonna select this layer that has the guy running. We're gonna zoom in by holding Alt and scrolling up. Okay, and we're going to select the pen tool, not the polygon lasso tool, because the pen tool I feel like is so much more versatile. So we're gonna start by clicking somewhere and we're just gonna outline the thing. I really prefer this over the polygon lasso tool because you can see where you're gonna create the next joint, rather than when you were using the polygon lasso tool, it would like make this line to symbolize how long the line would be, where it's going to go, and it would just mess up like to see where the actual outline of the thing you want to crop out is. So that's why I prefer this over that. And you guys, when you crop out this person, you can add a stroke or a drop shadow to if you want. But CREEPERSEDGE didn't do that, so I'm not going to do that. And you guys know that I do this just to stay accurate to the style of the original creator of the thumbnail. So we're gonna right click now that we've made the selection, and we're gonna click make the selection. Feather radius doesn't really matter. Hit OK. We're gonna hit Control C and Control V, and now we have just the outline of this player. All right, sweet. So that means now we can go ahead and make this arrow visible. We're gonna drag it beneath this guy, and now just the arrow. And it looks like it's behind him, like coming out of him. I'm actually gonna make it smaller because we need to see like the actual thing. And I put him a little closer to the door than I would have wanted, so that's all right though. I'm gonna hit enter, and now we have this nice arrow. There's one more thing I want to do, and it's a little of an experiment. I'm gonna go back here. I'm going to go to the Minecraft dirt. I looked up Minecraft dirt particles because you notice that in the thumbnail it has some particle effects to it, but I don't know how to get just the particles. So we're gonna right click this, we're gonna hit copy the image, and we're gonna go back to Photoshop. We're gonna hit Control V to paste it. And what we really want is just like some of the, like a portion of this entire thing. So I'm just gonna go to the rectangle selection tool. I'm just gonna drag over just this portion of it. I'm gonna hit Control X to cut it and Control V to paste it. Now we can like delete the rest of the dirt block, and now we're just gonna move this, and we're gonna put a few of these. So we're gonna select the dirt layer, put one behind it, make it significantly smaller, of course, and put it down here. And now we can Control J to duplicate it, put one over here, Control T, hold Shift, drag it down, make it smaller, and just keep on doing this until you get like a few of them. I really like that effect. Alright, I'm gonna make this one a little bit bigger but smaller than the first one. And we're gonna copy this one and Control T and make this a lot smaller. Alright, and that looks pretty cool. You can move them together. Yeah, let's move them together, closer together, so that it looks more natural. And this one, I think. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that looks like the particles are actually coming out. Of course, guys can play with that and adjust it more to improve it for yourselves. The last thing we're gonna do is add all the brightness, contrast, saturation, because this is looking pretty bland, and we need to light it up, you know, make it more lively. So we're gonna go over to the adjustments tab, and we're going to go to brightness and contrast. We're gonna bring the brightness up. Just bring it up. Just bring it up. Don't be afraid of the brightness. Look at how bright that looks now. 70 is looking good. Contrast, turn that up all the way to, well, not too much. Okay, 20, 25 is looking good. Now I want to see if adding a saturation will work too. So we're gonna go back to the adjustments and click hue and saturation. Let's see, saturation, bring it over. All right, saturation isn't looking too bad. Don't overdo it though. Let's see, let's try 20. Yeah, the saturation of 20 is looking good. And this is the thumbnail, guys. You are done. We have everything that we need. We have the person running to the door, and we have the guy in the lava. Oh, I actually forgot one more thing. I'm sorry, everybody. We need to add like this little outline to the door to represent the danger, like you're telling a story when you make thumbnails. So we're gonna go back to the pen tool again. Why I love the pen tool so much. We're gonna zoom in, and we're just gonna trace an outline of the door. Now watch closely, guys. You can use this for future thumbnails as well if you're doing a trap video. And now we are just going to not make a selection, but we're going to go to the stroke over here, and we're going to increase the size of the stroke. Okay, 6 pixels wide seems good. We're gonna change the color of the stroke. We're gonna make it a nice yellow as well. Yellow doesn't matter which type of yellow, you know, bright yellow or a dark red. either one is good. And we're gonna go over here to this line thing. It's a drop down. You can actually change the type of stroke that you have. You can make it a dash line or dots like this. We're gonna make it a dash line because that is what he used, and we're just gonna, leave it like that, and we're gonna hit enter. Now we're not quite done. I'm gonna go over here. It generated this shape that we can now move around. So we're gonna double click it, and we're gonna give it finally a drop shadow. And this drop shadow is looking a little too intense, so I'm just gonna reduce the size a little bit, and that looks awesome. Alright, and copy down whatever you see down here, and you can hit OK once you're done. Now the thumbnail is done. Look at that. It looks amazing. I told you guys I really love the thumbnail styles of all of these YouTubers that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching this tutorial. I really appreciate you guys coming out, watching these with the likes, the comments, everything, all the positive support and reinforcement and the feedback. Continue to suggest YouTubers because I love doing these. Like the video and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and everything in between. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to catching you guys in the next thumbnail tutorial. Have an awesome day. Peace out.